The grand hall of the Elithar embassy shimmered with colors that no human eyes could fully describe. Crystalline chandeliers floated in the air, casting rainbows across the polished floors. Alien diplomats from dozens of star systems gathered, their chatter creating a melody of strange clicks, hums, and musical tones. At the center, standing on a raised platform, was Xyler Ven, the Elithar diplomat known across galaxies for his arrogance and pride. He had attended countless interstellar meetings, but today, he had a target, a single human named Ethan Cross. Ethan had been invited as Earth's representative, but Xyler had no respect for humans. Weak. Simple. Unprepared, he muttered to himself, flicking through the holographic files. Humans were insignificant to Xyler, and he planned to make it very clear. The humans arrived. Ethan, wearing a standard Earth diplomatic suit, felt small among towering aliens with glittering eyes, elongated limbs, and voices like musical instruments. Xyler approached him, sweeping past without so much as a glance. "Human," Xyler said dismissively, his tone dripping with condescension. "You may stand there, quietly." The room fell silent. Every alien diplomat glanced at Ethan, expecting him to shrink under the pompous alien's scrutiny. But Ethan stood tall, even though his palms were sweaty. He had trained for diplomatic encounters, but nothing had prepared him for this level of disdain. As the formal greetings continued, something unexpected happened. A small device, left unattended on the platform, began to hum softly. Ethan had no idea it was an experimental Elithar energy orb, capable of emitting a plasma surge if handled incorrectly. As Xyler strutted around, demonstrating his superior diplomatic knowledge, he accidentally nudged the device. It teetered on the edge, threatening to fall. Ethan's instincts kicked in. Without thinking, he lunged forward and grabbed the orb, holding it just before it would crash to the floor. In that instant, a bright pulse of light erupted from the orb, engulfing both Ethan and Xyler. Aliens gasped and recoiled, their sensors screaming at the unexpected energy discharge. When the light faded, Xyler staggered. Something had changed. His normally piercing eyes widened in disbelief. "What is happening?" he whispered, his voice shaking for the first time in centuries. Ethan, on the other hand, felt a strange warmth coursing through him. He looked at his hands and saw faint glowing lines tracing across his skin. The orb had bonded with him. The diplomats murmured in alarm. The Elithar orb was not just a decorative device, it was an ancient artifact, designed to enhance intelligence, strength, and energy manipulation in compatible beings. Humans were never considered compatible. Yet here it was, choosing Ethan. Xyler's pride shattered. "You, human, you are not supposed to do this," he stammered, stepping back. His normally confident movements now betrayed fear. The room held its breath. Ethan, still holding the orb, realized he could sense the alien diplomat's emotions, their surprise, their confusion, their fear. Even Xyler's arrogance now felt hollow. But the change wasn't just physical. As he cautiously waved his hands, faint blue energy rippled outward. Alien devices on the platform sparked, reacting to his presence. Diplomats exchanged whispers, trying to maintain composure, but the humans in the room were starting to see something remarkable. "Step back," Ethan said quietly, though his voice carried a new resonance. "I don't want to hurt anyone, but I can't let this go unchecked." Xyler's usual smirk was gone. For the first time, he seemed uncertain, vulnerable. He tried to regain control of the room, waving his limbs and projecting energy words in Elithar dialect, but Ethan instinctively mirrored the gestures. To everyone's shock, he could control the energy naturally, stabilizing it and even redirecting it to prevent damage. The room erupted in whispers. Humans had never displayed this level of adaptability or harmony with Elithar technology. Xyler's reputation, built over centuries, crumbled in a matter of minutes. Finally, Xyler took a step forward, forcing himself to meet Ethan's gaze. "Human, you must return that device immediately," he said, though his voice lacked conviction. Ethan shook his head. "I will not take something that is meant to bond with me. But I will not harm anyone either." The silence that followed was deafening. Then, unexpectedly, Xyler's demeanor shifted. He bowed, not out of respect, but out of recognition. He had seen something he could not ignore, a human not just surviving among elites, but rising in a way Elithars never imagined. Later, in private, Xyler approached Ethan. His arrogance was tempered now with something resembling humility. "Human. I underestimated your species. Perhaps, we have more to learn from each other than I thought." Ethan nodded. "And perhaps, some of us can surprise even the most pompous diplomat." Word of the incident spread across the galaxy. Humans, once dismissed as fragile and unremarkable, were now seen in a new light. Ethan returned to Earth hailed as a hero, while Xyler learned that arrogance, no matter how ancient or powerful, could be suddenly humbled by a single unexpected event. From that day forward, the Elithar embassy and all alien diplomats looked at humans differently. And Ethan? He quietly smiled, knowing that sometimes, all it takes is a moment of courage and an unexpected mishap to change everything.